Christmas of, I guess, 2022. I came to a Christmas market here just to see what this town had going on because I was about to move to the area in about a month. And I was walking around the booths and I was talking about how I used to teach before COVID out in Birmingham at Pepper Place. And a lady walked up and she was like, "You're a teacher? We need a teacher. Like, I need you." And she came and grabbed me, and I was pretty much brought onto the team that day unexpectedly. I went there to shop at a Christmas market. But it was really awesome, and now I've been here for about a year, and it's a really great experience. I get to work with lots of kids, and I love working with kids. They're so much fun. They're always so creative and so happy to be there, and I love it. I love it. I've always been a little artsy since I was little. I was making like crazy green Picasso-looking faces when I was in first grade, and I just kept pursuing that as I grew older. And when I moved out of high school, I was like, I really want to work with something a little more 3D than just painting and drawing. And when I got to Alabama, the University of Alabama, I took ceramics there, and I loved it, and I fell in love with that. And I started out on the wheel, and the wheel's nice and all that, but I liked hand building. I liked the freedom of hand building and being able to go like kind of anywhere with that. So I pursued ceramics for 5 years there, and I have a secondary in drawing. So I still work with drawing too, but I've just kind of kept my hands on different medias. I love just adding more medias to my collection of skills that I've done over the years and hobbies that I brought up. Resin, clay, paint, embroidery, any medium really. I've played with it at some point at least. So I always like adding things to it. Just being able to say, hey, can you do that? And being, yeah, I can. So I think I began teaching, I want to say it was 2018, right after college at Pepper Place. I worked at Thrive. It was a little independent studio in Pepper Place that was like, it was big with adult classes. You'd come in for like one class and you'd bring like a party of people. Classes were typically around, 10 to 15 people, and there were 3 or 4 teachers there, and I was kind of the head teacher, and then there was the main artist that stayed there, and she was the head of all of us. And she kind of ran the show when COVID came around. Times got hard and she had to shut it down, and that was really sad and all. But after that, it was life ran its course. I got a couple odd and end jobs during COVID, and then moved here, and here I am. So for the pottery class, you can expect them obviously working a lot with clay. They'll learn to form their own pieces, learn to stick the clay together, they'll learn to flatten it out, and have it make its own shape independently of the wheel. So they'll pick a shape and they'll make that shape. And then from there, we learn to stick stuff together, and we make, just different figurines and stuff just to teach them how to stick pieces together. After that, I move it a little further into they make their own mugs, and they love making their own mugs because that last class, they get to go home and tell their mom, when I come home next week, I'm going to have a mug and I'm going to be able to use it. And they just love being able to know that they can use that mug. And the last class, they paint it all. They paint all of it, they glaze it. And then for my craft class, the Art Adventures class, we like to pick an artist of the day and a piece that we like from that artist the most. And we're all going to work together to try to create that piece ourselves with a different media. I try to mix it up every week with different medias. So first week we do paint, color pencils, sometimes we do markers. I want to try to move it in more with that as it grows. So kind of new to that one. And same with the sketch class. So sketch class, we sketch, but I try to teach them perspective, and then from there we move on to shading. And after we learn shading, learn how to put all that together to create a cohesive piece with our lighting and our textures. I teach them how to use those skills to create textures. So they're learning how to create bigger pieces with smaller skills. So, but I really do, and I enjoy that class a lot. They're all so excited to be there because it's all like, teenagers, and you don't see a lot of teenagers interested in stuff like that, but they seem to really love it. It is a great little center you don't expect it out here, especially because it's a lot of, open land and, like farmland too out here. And then you have this great big center that has so much to do that you you never expect it in a little town like this. It's something you'd expect in Birmingham, but it's right here. It's right down the street. And it's a perfect center to learn whatever little thing you want to do. They don't just have like, you can paint here and draw here, you can do music and all this other stuff. And they always seem flabbergasted that we have kilns and they pour metal here, and it's so much to do. And they can also come watch shows. So there's even more than that. There's even galleries. I mean, there's just so much. I didn't even have that at Thrive. I mean, we just had clay, you know. And from there, I mean, any studio I've worked with, because I've also taken part in studios like Earthborn and Make Birmingham, and they offer, you know, a few things, but they don't have Foundry or green screen or anything like that. But we have it all right here.